girl would like to, before we put away the herbs again, girl, I think, would like to try a divination. See, especially with Shining Star saying that, girl is wondering, I wonder who the supplier is of this herb. Is Spring Lightning, that maybe Spring Lightning is getting it from some supplier and then is the kind of final stage of selling. So could I try a divination on, touching the herbs to try to get some type of bead on supplying this to Spring Lightning?
That seems reasonable. So is it it's kind of the word, I don't remember what you call it. You're feeling things to get a sense of where they've been and how they've come to be here, sort of thing. All these little packets that have been lovingly twisted and tied up. Okay. Let's have a think. That's quite specific, so that's only going to cost you one divination skill. Although I haven't given you opportunity to recover anything from last time. Bear that in mind.
Last time when we did the rolls, I did get it increased one. So would I still get it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So if it's gone up by one, then that will have affected the total, and I'll also say it can affect the current total. But I think you'd used divination last session, and therefore it cost you some number of points to get the visions of Smith City. So yes, whatever that total was, you can add one to it and then take one off to do this divination.
Okay. Superior result.
A superior result. Excellent. Okay. Girl, you get almost as though you've fallen into it, an image of a large room, big skylight, lights coming in across rows and rows of plants growing on little tables, and then more dry plants hanging from ceilings, things like that. And then in a corner of this room, there's a group of people. One of whom you would recognise because you know him is Spring Lightning, sorry. Sitting hunched over, twisting up his little packets. And other people in the room and in the vicinity. And associated with this there's an elf who I can only describe as new age looking.
That's not helping, because that's sort of been your go-to for elves throughout. So
yes. So let me think. She is wearing a big, oversized cardigan, very loose knit, multicolored. Has her hair tied up in a sort of messy bun at the back. She's tending to some of the plants and carrying out some of the drying activity. Maybe she is. The brains of the operation in terms of plant skill and things like that. There is also crashed out on a sofa a shorter elf-looking person who probably you would recognise as being a Spriggan rather than an elf. Short, slightly darker. Conservatively dressed and, as I say, kind of crashed out, blanked out, but surrounded by small pieces of clockwork and tools and things like that. Then there's a much younger, sort of teenage elf type person who, like all, she is terribly beautiful and attractive. But this one in particular is looking a little dishevelled and in need of a bit of a wash. Her clothes are a bit dirtier, and she's kind of sitting in a corner, kind of, by herself. I don't think you'll come across any of these people before, but you will definitely recognise them again if you were to see them. And equally, there are no evidence of serpentines or things like that.
Yeah, so I mean, I think when I come out of the trance, I would relay what my vision was to Christabel and Shining Star. Let them know that I've kind of give a quick description of the place that I saw and of that I, including, of course, an elf that I do recognize that was there.
I will express surprise at the vision of Shining Star or Spring Lightning doing work.
Right. Well, I think that's an important insight, is that, yes, he is doing work. And the question is whether you're going to get what's coming to you as the utterly unnecessary warehouser and retail point of purchase manager of this activity. Because if he's actually made his investment back per month through this activity, then you shouldn't be paying him any more investment back. In fact, you should be getting a cut of what's left over.
That's a good point. It's so disappointing that this isn't actually all about cats.
I allow as how that might be a point of view that somebody may hold, yes.
Yeah.
I should just backtrack quickly. Since it was a superior role, girl, as your vision, as you sort of, your consciousness zooms into this vision, it's kind of like you're falling in from the sky, and you get a vision of where this building is, as well as then going through the skylight into it. So potentially, if you wanted to track it down within the city, you could do that.
What do you guys say is how this may be the time to pack all this stuff away just the way we found it?
Yep. So, funny coincidence, since we're talking about Spring Lightning businesses, we're going to go hang out with him and a friend of his at a bar this evening.
Well, that might be a wonderful time to review your business plan in a friendly way. Girl will help.
There's something, though. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that yet, because, again, this is where you come in. I'd kind of like to find out how much of this, if any of this, is political.
Right. Okay, well, we can just chum it up and hang out and get a slightly better context. I'm at least have a chance of doing that.
Cool. So it sounds like you might be heading off to meet up with Close-Up Shop, head off for evening drinks with Spring Lightning.
Yeah, that's great.
Shining Star, are you going to follow up on the summons from Puck?
Oh, yes.
Who I believe wanted to talk to you this evening as well. So.
Oh, right. So could I go to the summons first?
You can do what you like. I have been thinking of Tourmaline as significantly larger and bigger as a city than Smith City. So getting across it and back, particularly if all you have is your own feet to do it, may take a while. So,
well, that's fine. I mean, we don't have a formal engagement with.
Tell you what, let me do my thing, and then I'll catch up with you guys after that. Just let me know where it is.
Yeah.
And see what I can do. I've got a little bit of money left over. I can, get in one of their winged swan cabs or something.
Right.
An airboat will happen by.
Yeah, whatever it is that, I imagine that street taxis, street cabs are probably just elegant horse-drawn things, but you never know, all right.
Yes.
So
Okay.
off to what kind of place would I go to meet with Puck or his
He's giving you his Peacock gave you an address which is in the center of the city, so near the mount of the 10 temples.
Wow. It's a lot of temples. Okay, sure. I make my way there.
Okay, cool. So
Put on my best face.
Cool. So trying yourselves off there. You two are possibly going for drinks in a moment. I will first of all, before we carry on with that, make good on what I said about visions of what the universe wants for girl. So this is a bit of a flashback, because these visions obviously happened over the last previous month, possibly under the influence of Darnell, which is a pollen grain you drop into your eyes and cause hallucinations and weird experience. And is otherwise described as a poison. All the fun things, obviously.
Yeah,
So, box text. Hallucinatory visions, the result of the universe wanting to talk to you, tell you what you should do. You get a very strong sense talking to you about the past, the present, and the future. Some of it is just colours and impressions, and then images emerge out of that. An image of a horrible, yearning, demonic face, a winged figure with people dangling and puppet-like from its fingers. It cackles as it forces them into shapes and positions that would otherwise not do. This image fades away and is replaced by a red sky, winged figures on horseback, and dancing figures coming together, separating, hissing. As it dissolves into an orgy of sensuality, again, the image fades, and a sort of calm blue stillness comes upon you, and an image of gentle rains falling onto the ground, seedlings growing up, a hand reaching out, invigorated by the growth around.
Wow. The
and then you
seriously trippy. Yeah.
Yes, and then, as I say, more impressive colours and tranquility, and then you would have come out of this experience. So the universe is speaking to you, but hey, who knows what the universe means? Perhaps
ain't it always the way?
Or roles might be useful in interpreting these things. I am happy to talk about how I have decided how the universe, what the universe thinks about things later on. It's interesting, systematic.
And I'm assuming that demonic face does not look familiar to me. It looks just like some.
I think it is. From your experience of hallucinations of the universe, it's likely to be more metaphorical. And it said it did not look like anyone in particular you knew. This does not mean, suppose, that it could not refer to people who you have met. I might, in a minute, be able to provide pictorial evidence of what you download.
That's interesting.
Anyway, so the universe is speaking to girl. What girl will make of that? Do not